welcome to segment number 6, I believe, of our look at Ori and the Will of the Wisps. We're fairly far along, at around 71% on the counter, and in what looks like it is, if not the absolute final area, definitely something quite close, having finally unlocked one of the late gates in the game. Breaker Tech, welcome. Hope you've been enjoying the first game. If you have had any chance to start that already, we're going to be spoiling this second game like crazy, given that we are pretty deep into the late game at this point, but let's get going. Okay, so this is where we left off, as I said, right outside the gate that will take us apparently to the heart of the forest. It's been a couple of days, so we'll have to get some of the mechanics back in our system. But let's just get some energy going. Okay. And what are we looking at here? Pretty impressive. A wheel, it looks like. Some kind of round door. For every spirit tree, a light. And for every light, a tree. And yeah, Merlin, welcome back. Yeah, Merlin, I know you've been very eager to get me your dedicated level. We'll definitely do that at some point. I will be finishing this game probably fairly soon. If not on this stream, then definitely the next one. And so we'll be getting back to some more Mario Maker programming, and hopefully you'll be able to catch one of those. But it's good to see you here regardless. And we'll hopefully get to that level soon. Look at that. Yeah, I guess we're going to piece the story together one artwork at a time. No tree can last forever. Okay, so learning about this piece by piece. This is giving me something. Oh, okay. And let's get into the next area and see what more awaits us there. Okay, down we go. More dirt that we can perhaps burrow through, but nope, that's just ground. And now what are we going to find out about it? It looks like the Willow's children, the spirits of Niwen, suffered in the decay. It looks like these are my people, or at least my character's people. I have not actually seen anybody else of my kind, so that leaves us with some understanding of who we are, I guess. Okay. Let's see what's on the left side here. Nothing much underneath the artwork. These little clumps of dirt do allow you to go back upstairs if you need, but I think for the time being we will just continue heading down. Now what's this telling me? I see 5 orbs around myself. Hope would open our eyes to see through the darkness. Yes, because we have the eyes of the forest. That was what we got in the spider area. Memory of the forest and the strength of the forest were respectively the ghouls and the other zone. That escapes my memory at this moment, but Let's see what is down here. Okay, so this artwork has been partly demolished, which is ironic because the Gorlick builders are the subject. Well, it seems that the protection has been broken. But yes, we have to gather the 5th and final Wisp. And we'll just have to see how that goes. No way but down. It's going to get down there cautiously. We don't get blown up along the way. Okay, looks like we'll just have to climb through the right side over there. That's fine, we can do that safely. Something down here. Save point up top. Let's grab that first. And now let's see what awaits us. Okay. That seems rather solid. Interesting. Interesting. Blowing this up is going to lead to a whole bunch of collapse, I think, so. Okay, didn't really mean to destroy the ruins like this, but we'll take it. If that's what's required to push forward. Now, Shriek, who has been haunting us all game, is still alive and kicking somewhere, so I assume there will be another escape and possibly a fight at some point. But first, here is the heart of the forest. And at last we will gather the 5 Wisps and see what kind of power that unlocks. Okay, so. Alright then, let's head to the Willow. Escape sequence first, I'm sure. Have to get through... Oh, this guy. Yeah, that's threatening. Let's run. Okay. Yeah, we should be using the sand dash a little more aggressively than we've been doing. Oh, no, missed. That's gonna be death. Yeah, did need to use the sand grapple in that one point. I had this habit of holding down Y the whole time because I've been playing Mario again lately, and of course that just leads you to think in terms of the dash button in situations where it isn't strictly necessary. Grapple, grapple. Yeah, there we go. Let's jump on this guy. Okay. Yeah, we'll hide here. And then we need to escape once again. Okay. Nice little sequence there, actually. Nope. Couldn't quite reach. Need a better sand dash. Wow, this is a big reset, but... a pretty visible sequence. I am not too concerned about it. It's very much an execution challenge in that it's not too hard to see what to do, which, as I've been saying all along, is actually a pretty substantial improvement on the first game, Ori and the Blind Forest. Often Blind Forest would, in its escape sequences, have all kinds of traps that were difficult to visualize. Here it's a much better situation in general, I think. It seems like I'm falling behind in a few places. Okay. Okay. Oh, missed it once again. Had to dash vertically out of that zone, and I just had a bit of error. Horizontal movement at the very end. Okay. Oh, whoops. Just fell directly onto spikes. Do need to retain some mid-air movement here. For the most part, because losing at the escape is an instant kill, I'm generally not too worried about damage, but in areas like that, I do in fact need to be mindful of my health. Okay. Left. And yeah, definitely my steering could use a little bit of work. Okay. Up we go. Whoops. Oh, that was a close call. This is going to reset the time in here. Yeah, you don't actually have that much flexibility to get ahead before the cinematic just kind of catches up to you. Okay. Almost out of this sequence. Gravel. Okay. Okay. See, that wasn't so bad. Not so bad at all, actually. Quicksand, indeed. But anyway, we made it, and here's the heart of the forest. A fairly straightforward zone, actually. So it seems like we'll probably have another major area to unlock if we have to return the heart of the forest to the willow and rejuvenate the land. So, interesting. This is, once again, one of those cinematic sequences where you are only allowed to walk in one direction. This game has occasionally used that to fairly dramatic effect in terms of restricting your control to just create a semi-interactive cutscene like this one. And it looks like the Weeping Ridge will be the final area we need to look at, so. Return Sarah to the Spirit Willow? Yeah, we can do that. I don't know if Sarah does much for me other than just increasing my stats. Then that's how this game kind of eases up on you in the late game. And yes, we now see how it is that the top half of that room opens up. Now, given all the burrowing in here, look, there is actually an energy container that we can go back to retrieve. And I think, given the nature of the escape sequence, the idea is that you do in fact have to go back. You can't get that on the first pass because you are, of course, too busy not getting devoured. So let's just pick that up. It's kind of nice that we can at least make a partial return to this area, although I'm sure that we'll probably have to come back out this way instead of out the previous exit. And that's fine, because this is fully reversible. And you can tell it's fully reversible because of the way that the sand is structured in places like this to let you head back up. Let's go back down and just take a proper look at this. And down we go. There we go. And just keep on excavating, I guess. There we are. Not sure if there will be anything else to see, except we might as well poke around to see. Oh, anything is hidden, and yes. Secret exit. Very nice. Secret exit takes us quite far, in fact. Back into the previous area. Yeah, really nice to see that wonderful bit of contiguity there in terms of how the land connects to itself. So that's going to take us quite far back. Now, I do know that there have been certain locations here we have not looked at. This bit that's shaded, and also part of the Shriek escape sequence, the stealth sequence rather, earlier in the game, had an area that we were unable to traverse. So we'll just keep on a lookout for that. Oops. There we go. And just try to figure out how it is we should proceed. Yeah, it'll be the next area that we want to traverse upward. Whoops. Taking way too much damage here. Ah, yes. Grapple. And then we want to go up. But to go up, we probably want to... Oh, I can't actually bash this guy. Okay. That's fine. Let's use a pulse. And see what's over here. It's just money. But we'll take it, given that those locations are not really tracked on a map and sometimes a little bit difficult to see for the purposes of completionism. Now, anything else here? I don't know if I've actually checked that location. I guess I have. Okay. Let's just go back out. There were definitely some things I wanted to check, which is why I'm not just warping out directly. Now, yes, okay, this is the location here that's going to require deflection. And we'll have to figure out what a projectile source is going to be, if we can find one. Ah yes, here's a projectile source down there. We'll just heal up first of all. And lead at the target. Whoops, wrong button. Okay, let's try that again. Bust the location to the left. There we go. Okay, pretty smooth. And camera is once again going to have a few issues catching up. That's the only thing you do have to deal with in the late game, performance-wise, is that you do begin to press against how quickly the game is willing to load you in. But anyway, here's the right side of the area where the Shriek escape sequence was much earlier, and I knew that, yes, this bit here was obstructed because that's where you come in when you make the escape. So I don't know if Shriek is still here to kill us instantly. Yeah. So we need to get out of here. Except I have power now, so maybe I'm able to do something like this. And okay, look at that, actual Kodos. So I guess this is probably part of the main quest path. It's very picturesque. Anyway, so Shriek has been repelled by the light, and indeed this is part of the main quest sequence. But I wanted to check it anyway. Well, we are going to have to deal with Shriek, I'm sure, by the time we get to the very end. Given that everything here was destroyed in the stealth sequence previously, we'll just have to go up this way. Yeah, because these were some of the stealth locations much earlier on. Whoops. Grapple. Very easy to get the controls confused sometimes when it comes to how to cling to everything, but yeah, it looks like this is actually as far as we needed to go, so let's just enter it and see what happens. Weeping Ridge. Alright. Yeah, we'll pull that eventually, but I want to check the area first, just to scout. Looks like this is some kind of lift mechanism. It's going to take me up or take me down. Up. Well, okay, up to a ridge. Ah, looks like it's going to be an elevator fight. Not exactly the game that I expected to deliver one of these, but elevator gauntlets being a very classic platform combat staple. We have so much of a damage output now that I don't have too many issues just slapping those. This guy's shielded, however. I will need to flank him. Let's go hammer. Yep. Flanking with the hammer does seem to be the way to approach this. Always like that in terms of how to get in position. Okay. Better heal up before whatever comes next. Because something is coming next, I'm sure. Okay. It's just going to get stuck. Gates are going to open to both the left and right, but I do want to check what's up top, so let's just send a flare and see if we can climb up to this location. Okay. No way to get through that at the moment, I think. Yeah, this is probably just part of one big climb where eventually we just need to not fall into this as a potential death trap. Okay, left side first. Left side just returns you to this lower location. Okay. That's important to know. Can I go up one level though? Let's see. Try that. And just going this way, I believe, takes you back to the entrance. Yeah. So let's see what's down here then. We'll have to deal with that eventually, I'm sure, but for the time being, let's just go on up. See what this is all about. That's explosive. So this will need to traverse probably just by using the warp. Whoa. Lots of damage output here. Whoa. And there. Okay, so let's just be a bit attentive as we heal up. Probably do want a ranged attack in here, actually, just to be perfectly careful. Quite possible, I'm sure, to warp through here. Interesting, okay. Not much we can do with that just yet, but we'll just try not to burn too much energy along the way. I think it's probably possible to set a flare up here as well. And, oh, I see, okay, so it is possible to get up there, except I'll need significantly greater momentum in order to get up into that location and grab that energy orb. Not quite sure how to get enough momentum to do so, but we'll have to think about that. Possibly this ability that we unlock here is going to be the answer to our troubles. So let's see what we have now. Launch. Okay. Well, that answers that question. Surely this does consume energy. I'm thinking that would be very surprising. Otherwise, oh, it doesn't. Okay. No energy consumption on launch. Okay, that actually resolves a few issues. Because it means that we can take the orb up. And then can I launch in midair if I do that? Yeah, let's try to do the orb into launch combo. And yes, that works. Okay. Yeah, that resolves the issue of how you make some of those jumps in midair. Actually, a significant boost to our traversal abilities in general. Now, is this restored when I get up on a wall? Yes, it is. So that follows the same logic as some things like the double jump. Looks like a wall does consistently refresh it, so that will be pretty important to keep in mind as we try to launch our way back. Yeah, so it is a step up above the previous power, the flare power that allowed us to head on up. As it will give us some mid-air momentum as well. I think the idea here is I restore my position on the wall. Head over here for the Gorlick ore. Okay. On a side note, every time I see the Gorlick ore, the thing I immediately think of is Kenneth the Gorlick, rather, otherwise known as Kenny G. But not exactly the kind of temperament we associate with this game, of course. Anyway, let's land on that and see what we can do with this area. Okay, so that's pretty much all we need to see in that zone. I'm pretty sure that's just death down below, so let's not deal with that. However, I do know that there were some things up here earlier, or down in the entry area, that we had not seen. Just going to scan this to make sure we've seen it. Comb the wall all the way down just to be certain of what we're doing. However, one thing I know I have not dealt with yet is this area to the right. Oops. Yes, because we now have the ability to get through this. Oops. Okay. Couldn't quite see where we were going at first, but now it's clear that you just used a combination of the launch and the dash. The air dash, rather, in order to head up to the right side. So we can do that. With slightly better timing, I hope. Whoops. Probably want to stay on the right in that location. Yeah, you can in fact see target wall just fine here. Whoa. Taking quite a fair bit of punishment there. Nope, still heading a bit low, but yeah, that's going to get us in a whole heap of trouble. Okay. Luckily, the launch ability doesn't affect our energy pool at all. Okay. Really going to have to stretch our jump distance in order to make it all the way through here. Yeah, not quite. Definitely a bit of an oblique angle to get into that location in the corner. We can make it, it's just that when you approach it, you are kind of approaching something that's slightly out of view. Yeah, it's not going to be that. Okay, definitely a bit tricky to dodge this guy to the left here, just given the angle. I think we do need to just maybe dash first and then launch. And then still coming in a bit low, yeah. Yeah, this is going to be death if we're not careful here. Yep, hitting my head on the ceiling, that's the issue there. So let's rethink some of this. And up we go. Hey, wonder why that worked so much better that time. That was out of the ordinary, and yeah, let's not spoil that right away. Let's at least see what's in this next location first. I'm not allowed to jump here, so we know there's some kind of cutscene coming. I guess this is what we're supposed to be healing. And oh, look at that. What a passageway. Before we enter that, of course, let's just take a moment to explore. Make sure we have check the upper locations. I have some idea of what we are dealing with here. And also just going to inspect this area quickly to see if we missed any marked collectibles. It seems not so far. Looks like we do still have a fair bit of ground to cover, given that we haven't uncovered this. Now, how are we doing for quests? Yeah, still don't know what's going on with the Wanderer's Pouch. And that's just dependent on collecting all 40 pieces of ore. Okay, so I think the best thing to do is just to continue. As the end drew near, all paths led to the Spirit Willow. Ah, here are our friends from back home. And so they'll join us for the finale somehow. So here's Willow's End, and it looks like there's some indication that this may in fact be the last area of the game. So we'll see where this is on the map, because yes, it looks like this is finally the area that leads us to that orb that has been marked. Of course, there are a lot of other collectibles that we have not seen yet that have not been marked. But we'll have to worry about that later, I think. Because I don't think 100% prior to the finale is happening this time around. Making a decent effort at it, of course, but whoops, let's not get nuked by every single explosive. Actually, somewhat similar to the final area in the first game, except that was mostly lava. I think we probably just had to burst through these guys. No, we can't. Okay. They are not bashful targets. Let's launch then and land. Yeah. So you cannot grip the blobs that are coming up from the poisoned willow. That's just death. Yeah, if memory serves, in the original game, there was a similarly vertical final area that was all about manipulating the fluid level as you traverse your way through the dungeon. We'll see if there are any other similarities here. Definitely it looks as though I shouldn't be traversing to the left side yet, but you know what? We're going to do the foolish thing and do it anyway because we can. No, we can't. Right, because the liquid is going to be pouring all over. Alright, up we go then. We can, of course, come through here. I was trying to shoot that in midair and just kind of missed. So yeah, I probably wanted to grip that actually, but okay, this guy I can grip, and his projectiles as well. So. And we'll grab a save point. Maybe not the most elegant way of ascending all the way up here, but I'll take it. And hey, the map guy. Always happy to see the map guy. His traversal powers must be immense indeed for him to get ahead of me all the time. Given the circumstances, we will not pay for the map. Okay. So, we'll see what each of these points represent. They are probably just parts of the corruption that I have to deal with. Another save fountain plus an exit up here kind of tells me that this might be something like the final challenge, the final escape, perhaps. And yeah, we've explored very little of this space thus far, but I think that's because we do have to puzzle our way through it, warp between a couple of interconnected locations, and gradually just remove the stain. Cartographer's Protege, I believe that's just an achievement for having acquired all of the maps, but we can always check that later. Looks like this is going to be exit only on top side. Does the launch do damage? Yes, it does. Okay. Not a lot of damage, but you know, we might as well just experiment with it. Whoops. That was not how I wanted to do things, but there we go. Sure, we'll take some energy. Probably would have been smarter to heal up first. And yep, we can restore the launch power once again using the wall. And looks like we will have to launch through this side here. Okay. Oh, whoops. Trying to grip that projectile. That didn't quite go as I'd hoped. But there we go. That is not quite going as I'd hoped either. Taking quite a bit of punishment there. We'll have to take cover. I should be able to grip that guy though, so we'll just wait for a window of opportunity to do so and come up here. So energy refill up on this side tells me that I should heal up before we decide to bust through the sand. Okay. Now let's see what we can do. It looks like we can probably just heal one stain at a time using... Oh, no, I guess not. So yes, this is one of those stepping stone pathways into the Spirit Willow that my companion is supposed to reassemble, but we've got a lot of decay to get rid of first before we come up through here, so let's see what we can do. Yeah, always running into each one of those. That's not particularly clever of me, but okay, looks like we just need a targeted launch into this location here and then grapple. Whoops. No. Okay, going to be a slight technical challenge here when it comes to timing, but we'll do it. Okay. Always nice to see some more grapple points. Looks like we'll just want to launch out of the exit when it's not facing one of the spikes, so... Where's this guy taking me? Don't really know yet, but okay, over here. Nice. Yeah, we had better do something about that. No, okay, that guy just drops, or what? Yeah, no, we are supposed to take out each of those patches then. And that's how we gradually restore the Willow Gate. Looks like that's probably an exit point up top, so we will take that. Yes, because that's just the way we came in. Now, this is where we came in earlier. Whoops. Let's see what we can do. Whoops. That's just a miss. There was that sand area to the right that we had not traversed. That's probably the next best place to look. Yeah, time to heal up. And do this part of the climb. Oh, nope. Okay. Restored launch power. And just burst as often as possible. And there we go. We'll definitely need to replenish some health. We don't want to launch directly into this thing, obviously. Arrow shots are fine. I think we probably want a bit more damage output, though. So, do I want to get within hammer range? Yeah, that's going to take that out in 2 hits. And then we can drop in that location. Okay. Great. Works for me. So why don't we head back through here and just head... Whoa, no, that's not the part that opened up. Yeah. Once again, not watching very carefully. I probably should consult the map that we just bought. But... okay. Just going to use each of these points to stabilize, and nope. Yeah, just will occasionally help to just grip these guys for the sake of seeing where I'm going for a moment. Okay. That's going to be comparatively stylish. And sure, let's just nuke him some more. I believe that's 2 points down. And then we can continue from here. Left side of the Willow Gates. We've not checked, so let's check it. Right, and that's why we would not have gone this way yet. Oh, okay. That was mildly threatening, but now we do have passageways open up top and to the left. It looks like we will want to come through here. Okay. That takes you back down, but we still need to do the segment to the left, so let's maybe do that first, because it is available. Okay. Kind of a narrow timing over here, but we do have the opportunity to heal up a bit before we get through the rest of this warping challenge. And some health replenishment is always quite welcome in circumstances like these. Okay. Let's see how to deal with this. We will need to see how each of these are matched. Yeah, we just need to go around the beam. It's kind of a mini-boss, effectively, but we can probably deflect Deflection is good, in fact, because it will fire directly back at the weak point. Okay. Yeah, let's just win by deflection as often as possible. I don't know if any of my other attacks are going to be that useful here. Yeah. We need to learn how to deal with that pattern. That's kind of an issue right now. Luckily, actually, counterattacking and damaging him is not going to be too much of a nuisance by the looks of it. Just need to fire everything back accurately if we can. And yeah, that's already halfway down. But the dodging pattern is definitely a challenge. Oh, that was actually an opportunity to attack. I just kind of squandered it. Let's not go hammer. Let's go for boomerang, maybe. Actually, arrow shot probably would have been best here, but boomerang does cut through pretty nicely by the looks of it. Okay. Kind of deadly damage output there, but yeah, we'll just follow it around like that instead of dropping indirectly. Almost done. Okay, not really that big a threat as long as you know how to dodge everything. Okay. Yeah, looks like that's just kind of a restoration maneuver. Not really going to do very much for us, but that does it, laser brain. Take that, laser brain. Okay. But yeah, let's just grab some energy. Thank you for the GG, Merlin. And that does it for this zone here. I think we need to launch out of this side to get back to where we were before. Yeah. Back we go. Easier to get out than in. And down should be next. Yes, because we want to scan this whole area to the left. And yeah, there was that one-way gate we saw much earlier that we could break on the way down, I'm sure. Oh, whoops. Too aggressive here. Yeah. Not quite precise. Now we are playing on a normal difficulty. There is a hard mode that I think increases the enemy damage output by quite a bit. And of course you can increase the damage output manually with some of the spirit abilities as well. And so I think some of those damage-based traversal areas would be much deadlier if we played that way. With the imprecision that we've been demonstrating. Looks like this is going to be another challenge in just rounding the bend. Whoa, taking way too much punishment here. Yeah, we see the location that we're supposed to go for. I'll need to go back for that, probably. But that's okay. We'll do that when we get there. Well, I don't know. Maybe I should do this radial maneuver first, just to get up to that point, because we're going to need to deal with it. So let's just heal up, try to get up to that location. There we go. And 3 shots. We'll do that. Okay, that's starting to loosen up quite a bit. Most of the way there, by the looks of it. Drop in once again for this side. And looks like we have another timed launch challenge here as we try not to get zapped by every beam. I mean, ultimately it is a fairly forgiving game. But we do need to watch ourselves. Yeah, that was very sloppy. Right, because we can't actually cling on to the poison surface. I do have to traverse my way through a bit more carefully. There we go. Took a lot of damage there, but we still have a decent energy bank for healing up, so not too concerned just yet. It looks like this location does allow me to fly, so we'll be doing that. Yeah, it is definitely a part of the game that's testing the full suite of traversal abilities. So, of course, there's a flight segment. And we'll want to pop out top. There was something to the right, but we can check that on the way down, perhaps. Unless I'm meant to exit to the right here. So let's check it now. Let's check it now. If I can, without taking too much punishment. Okay, that's just a life point. Oh, and it's ore. We'll definitely take it. Interesting that there are so many collectibles here for something that is supposedly the final area, but I guess there will be a point of no return before the final boss, as we can see on the map, actually, with the topmost save point. That's probably past Willow Gate. Anyway, let's pop this guy and see if we can pop that structure to the right as well. Yes, we can. Okay. We're running pretty low on energy. I probably shouldn't have used an energy attack to do just standard damage. That's what happens when you have launch on Y, unfortunately. That my muscle memory for various attack patterns earlier in the game is not so suited for this segment, so looks like we'll be heading back to the right and just back on down for, what is it, 3 remaining segments plus this little life point down there. Okay. Yeah, should have watched myself a bit more carefully here, but let's grab some energy. Always very helpful. Ah, yes, this is the one we gave. Let's get a standard attack here. Now, have we been this way? We need to head to the right. Let's do that. I remember fighting this guy, but we did not go to the right side over here, if I recall. No, that's going to be up top. Yes, up to the right. Here. That's what we want. Oh, didn't see the second explosive guy. That would have been very useful to know about before we took so much damage. Looks like there is a deflection point down below in terms of something that we can break open. We'll keep that in mind. Okay, right side looks breakable. Let's break it. Actually, looks like we just go there with melee, so let's just... Okay. Break that open. Ah, okay. That just returns you here. Does, however, give you the opportunity to come up and do what? What does this give me? Not quite clear on that yet. Possibly we need to lead a homing projectile. Well, we definitely need to lead a homing projectile down to the bottom left, but do I actually need to do it from all the way here? That seems to be particularly challenging. Send a projectile through and see what happens then. Yes, because the projectiles go continuously. So that is correct. Because now we lead this guy down. Down like that. Oops. And then we deflect it to the right side. That's correct. Let's wait for it to come back down. And that will do the trick. Let's go hammer. Whoops, let's not get in so close. Okay, slowly getting there. Well, so much for that guy. Looks like we'll be done with this area, except for this collectible up top. Of course we're going back for that. There's no way we're just leaving that there. Yep. But at what cost? Yeah. At that cost. Okay. Let's heal up. 2 more to go on the bottom side, so we just need to go back to the origin point and to start at this zone, and with our newfound power, just traverse both sides. Oh, pretty straightforward, I think. Shouldn't be too much trouble as long as we don't get blown up all over the place. Okay. Probably back down, and yeah, this is where we acquired the map, and this is the save point. So down we go from here. Oh, whoops. Couldn't quite see where I was going. That is the occasional nuisance with dashing through this beautiful play space. Alright, this... yeah. Is correct. This is the starting area. Let's check the right side first, why don't we? Okay, going to have to do that a bit more accurately. So we don't hit the poison surface constantly. It looks like this is going to be a grapple point up top. Oops. Probably best to heal up a bit before we do anything really silly like that. But yeah, grapple will do the trick there. Oh, except it's poisoned on the other side. Didn't quite look at that accurately. Yeah, that was just a bit of a mess on my part. You should probably check the right side first, in fact. Just to see if there's anything too critical here. It looks like we want to get rid of the explosive guy. And we will want to check both locations. But I do wonder, because I don't know what's in there. It could just be a collectible. Not an energy or life collectible, but maybe something else important. So let's do this first. And yeah, we'll go to the left side wall first. That looks like it's probably a better choice here. Whoops. And yeah, making contact with the wall as usual is going to allow you to reset everything, and it is just ore plus energy up top, which is going to be helpful given that we need it for life replenishment. Okay. Now you're thinking with portals. Okay. There we go. Okay, let's think about this. Looks like we have that guy to blow up. We don't want to drop in here. Yeah, that's explosive. That's okay, once the explosive guy is out of the picture, things don't look so bad, except we do still have a one-way gate to deal with over there, probably just for the way back. Okay. And there we are. Escape sequence. Another escape sequence. Oh, okay. That's not too bad. And then that's how we wander back to this gate. Okay, works for me. That's pretty much sorted, except we do still need to blow that up, don't we? Yes, we do, because we need to get back up to where things were before the boulder fell. And let's just smash it. One more to go. And yeah, back down. Okay. Let's see here. This will be the last thing I need to do by the looks of it. Everything on the left side. Whoops. That was just a miss. A palpable miss. All in here, and then let's see. Oh no, misreading some of the artwork there. Of course, that was not a safe place to land. Yes, and then we have a grapple point. Whoops. Yeah, I saw the grapple point. I just didn't keep my grip on it as I was doing the rotation. Oh, once again, I was reading that as a platform. It's okay. Oh, no. Want to save the last launch. Okay. Up we go. And forward. No, want to launch through here. Grapple. Getting a little bit perilously low on health. But wall is going to refresh everything for us, and then we just grapple once again at the next opportunity. And this will be a nice little rest stop over here. I think we just grapple again and fling. Refresh on the wall. And it should be to the left here once again. Refresh point, and that's going to be it. Okay, back up to the top we go, by the looks of it. Eradicates the remainder of the corruption and opens the gate. So let's head back to the main entrance over here. And just traverse our way up once again. Yeah, we could warp our way up, but what fun is that when we can grab some collectibles along the way that we actually had missed earlier? Okay, let's dodge those as often as remains possible. Save point, and the next destination will be the next save point. Oh, except we forgot to grab the life container that's in the lower level. That was visible on the map. Let's go down and do that. Pretty simple. We'll just drop back down and check that location. Yeah. Just a little late in remembering that. Alright, back down we go. Except... yeah, no, we can do it. I don't think there's anything specifically obstructing us at the moment. Yeah, it's at the... oh, you can't because it's blocked. Except there is a warp point that's connected to. Is this warp point up here? Okay. I get it. The one that is to the left of this next wall. We can do it. We can, in fact, grab some life and energy first, and then we'll do it. See, no problem. And how are we doing when it comes to inventory? That actually is the last life fragment of the game. There is one energy fragment remaining, but for some reason I do not see it on my map, even though it should be listed. I probably just missed it in the icon somewhere. Yeah, that's something we can comb for after the fact, I think. Once again, not doing this exhaustively so as to get 100% before completion. I usually would, but there are too many little things that we would need to hunt for quite carefully. I think we're making a pretty reasonable effort. Still lots of little spots to fill all over this. All these empty locations are things that can remain to be completed, including some kind of trading quest. So, let's head back upstairs and see how we do. And yeah, thank you, Merlin, and for the congratulations. I mean, we did buy the power that allowed us to mark every life fragment on the map, so it wasn't too hard to locate, but there is no hint like that for some of the smaller collectibles, like the ore and the yellow orbs that are the money. And so, as I think I said before, I did do 100% prior to completing the game in the first game, Ori and the Blind Forest. And I remember that being fairly straightforward, actually. That game was, of course, not quite the same scope as this one. This one is somewhat bigger. Not hugely bigger, but somewhat. Yeah, I think Ori and the Blind Forest took me about 12 hours to 100%. So definitely a smaller map. But it's funny because this game has felt really kind of fast-paced in terms of how quickly all the abilities come together, and so it's in some ways felt like a much shorter experience than it is. Like, it doesn't feel much longer than the first game, in spite of the fact that I have actually put in a fair bit more time. I was at 16 hours going into this segment today, and yeah, so we're still a long way from 100%, as you can see. Anyway, going to do a full heal over here, and then we need to make our way back up to the tree. Oh, I didn't unlock this guy for some reason. Let's do it. Seems kind of important. Don't know what that connects to. Oh, interesting. I'm kind of surprised I didn't unlock that. Let's check the map to see where I am. Right, because that just opens up a quick passage to the entrance of the whole zone. Hey, Monkey Man, hello. I'm doing fine. It looks like we're in what is, I think, the final area of the game. So we're very close to the end, although I'm not really anywhere close to 100%. We are missing a lot of things. I want to be doing that. Okay, that's going to get me back up here. Okay, so it seems like some of the breakable locations have actually been restored from earlier, unless I just missed all those in the first place. And then we want to head back to this location because that is the way forward. And so yeah, Monkey Man, thanks for dropping by. I hope you're doing well on your end as well. It looks like we have a save point to the left, which tells me it's going to be some kind of major encounter. We still haven't dealt with Shriek. I assume that Shriek might be set up to be the final boss, or at least the final escape. I mean, we've escaped from him several times already, so I think at some point we'll be fighting head-on, but let's traverse this and see what happens. Okay. So far so good, just kind of desolate. Yeah, this looks very ominous. And now we're just going to slow walk our way to the Spirit Willow. The damage will be undone, not that easily. Something is certain to get in the way, I'm sure. Also, our friends who have rowed their boat all the way here to help us save the owl have not quite shown up in our presence just yet, so something is bound to happen. We're reaching some kind of climax. Okay. Well, that's progress. Can we hold the light? I guess we'll see. Oh, we probably need to restore it to a different tree. That's the idea. So we need to transport the light somehow. And I must grow to do so. I'm much too small. One life you must now leave behind to save the lives of all. So is that referring to me, or is that referring to... That's totally referring to me. Okay. Do I have to? Oh, I guess this probably powers me up, but I am very curious about how this is going to go. Nope. Oh, so much for that. Okay, boss time. Let's see, weapons. Do I want the launch? Yeah, but let's go hammer for the time being. Oh, oops. Unless I... Yeah, we'll stay on hammer until I figure out some way to strike this guy from range. Yeah, launching into him, trying to strike him that way, seems to do something minimal. That's not a great idea. Okay, deflection, we can do that. Just win by deflection, as always. Not going to be a very fast way to do things. Alright, hammer is not going to be quite within range. Let's go boomerang. I might not want to go launch, actually, just given that mobility is fine, but too many issues in terms of actually hitting the guy. Oh, okay. That hits really hard, actually. Do some chip damage. Could have deflected that projectile, but it was a little bit slow on the uptake. Yeah, boomerang's fantastic, and this does a pretty healthy heap of damage. Okay. What do I need to dodge here? Okay, pretty visible if you know what's coming. Let's heal up. Looks like phase 2. Okay, oh, phase 2 does require me to do a little bit of platforming. Yeah, it looks like it is going to be an escape phase. So luckily I did keep the launch ability on board. I came in there a little bit low. That's going to be a potential problem, but luckily the timing here is actually decently generous. So far, at least. Grapple. And okay, looks like it's another combat phase here. I see the energy replenishment. Yeah, Boomerang's going to hit reasonably hard. I just don't want to get within range of the Shriek by Shriek. Whoops, no, wanted to get above that. Yeah, that's a stay off the ground moment for sure. That's just a dodge by the looks of it. Okay. Oh. Interesting that I can grapple from the bottom side. Okay. Let's just deflect as much as I can. Whoa. Yeah, it would be nice to have a bit of energy replenishment. Whoop. Spent way too long camping on the floor instead of actually fighting this guy. Yeah, burning through a lot of energy with Boomerang, but it does really decent damage output, and I don't want to give it up just yet. Heal up while I have a chance. Okay. I don't really have the chance to deflect against him here, so... Okay. Running really low on energy right now. Might have to switch to hammer after all. So yeah, if you do fall off the platform, you can grapple over to the side. Kind of like Smash in some ways, in terms of thinking about off-stage recovery. Let's heal up while I can. Oops. So purple is homing missile, and so we'll just need to be mindful of that. Let's grab energy. No. Always a little bit slow on dodging the ground attack there. And yeah, Monkey Man, I think this is actually the final boss of the game, if I'm not mistaken. So, it's a bit of a damage phase, but there's also an escape phase here and there. And I mean, pretty simple. It's a boss. I'm trying to beat him up. Taking a lot of punishment from this guy throughout the experience. Oh, look at the platform is actually splitting up a bit in the middle. We need to be aware of that. So yeah, I have a couple of configurable abilities that I assign to one of 3 buttons. It's kind of like Zelda. And I also have currently a regenerate ability that's assigned. So the blue orbs on the left side are my energy, the green orbs are my health. So my health bar is on the right side of the central knob where all the buttons are. So that's how it goes. I should heal up. No. Bash this guy in the head. Okay, no more health bar. Tells me that we are going to have another escape phase, probably. Oh no, just him disappearing into the background. Okay. I have no platform to work with, do I? Okay. I think this is just a survival phase at this point. Oh, okay. Finally took to death, so how much of a reset do I have? Not much, thankfully, given that we seem to be in a sort of sub 20% phase. And that's going to be a point that allows me to reset. Oh, interestingly, I can actually grapple with safety if I want to just stay out of the way. Oh, not when it descends like that, though. So. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I think this is just a bit of a survival phase where I just need to stay airborne and avoid damage until I have a platform to work with again. That's not a platform to work with. Yeah. I think the idea here is just stay airborne and deflect projectiles for as long as I'm able to survive. So let's heal up. And let's just stay alive. And get as many deflections as I can. Wow, taking a lot of punishment actually. Yeah. All out of launches there. Okay. Trying to replenish energy here. Yeah, here's the air phase. That's been giving me so much trouble. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to stay airborne by using each of these projectiles as a grapple point, because gradually the platforms underneath me are going to disappear as the fight continues. But I also want to heal up as soon as possible. And then eventually I want to deflect some of these projectiles into his face if I'm able to do so. I actually am not using my glide ability nearly enough. Okay. Okay. Let's just stay airborne. And glide if I'm able. Oh no, got sniped. And yeah, good night, Monkey Man. Hope to see you around somewhere. And thanks for dropping by once again. I actually think I should just switch to Arrow, since I have no other energy dumps during the air phase. I'm taking way too much damage now. A little bit difficult to dodge his pattern sometimes, but it is a bit hard to see. Yeah. Very quick resets on this fight. I think this is one of many games where the resets feel quick because the music doesn't get interrupted. You just kind of get right back into the action when you die. And lucky for me that we got to this phase without having to do any kind of big reset. Too much damage incoming once again. Really getting swatted by this guy all over the place. Okay, actually getting some hits off. Oh, and I got sniped. Okay, I was very close, actually. I think one more hit would have done it. So yeah, I do need to avoid damage if I can. It's a little bit difficult to see where he's coming, though, sometimes. You can see the big black streak, but not on the diagonal moves. And so, pattern can be a bit tricky. I'm trying to deflect his projectiles back in. The falling projectiles don't seem to damage him. I need to deflect specifically the ones that are being shot at me. Okay. Yeah, it's too bad I had so little health coming into this phase that I have to burn a fair bit of time on trying to heal up at the beginning of every time I respawn. Nope. Yeah, I think the approach here is to just heal up as much as possible using this phase, because damage is the issue, much more than falling into the bottomless pit. It's all the chip damage that I'm taking during the air phase with all the diagonal movement that we get from this guy. Okay. Okay. Almost there. One or two more shots should do it. Oh, that's going to be a miss. Almost. Basically just need to survive one more cycle of this. Okay, will this hit? There we go. There we go. Stone cold. Oh, poor fellow. I guess he never really was redeemed by the light. Unless, of course, that's happening now, but it looks doubtful. And yeah, that's... Well, I guess Shriek is going to be laid to rest beside the others of his kind. So... really quite beautifully composed. I did have to capture that. So anyway, let's just see the rest of the finale. Let's see if we restored the breath of life to our friend Meow. Oh yes, because when I carry the light myself, isn't there going to be some kind of transformation that happens? Because I thought this was supposed to be an act of self-sacrifice, but we were very rudely interrupted. So I am kind of controlling the segment. I am only allowed to walk to the right, and when I walk to the right, it does so very slowly and clumsily, so I'm just remembering my friends here. So let's see. Here's Quallock. As my friends flash before my eyes as I head towards a possible moment of self-sacrifice, but you know, our companions are still on the way, so who knows what's going to happen. Anyway, I'm not going to commentate this too much. I really do want to enjoy the moment as myself as well, in all its quiet serenity. Now, will our companions ever know the truth of what transpired? That remains to be seen. These fellows here seem to understand. I won, but at what cost? Well, I mean, I did revive the owl. I think that's a fair trade. Oh, and look at that. I embrace the light. Oh, interesting. So the voice of the narrator, is that supposed to be me? That's an interesting twist, actually. Given that this is the same narrator as in the first game, I believe. So yeah, the frame story all along was kind of a reflection on your past existence. And yes, Merlin, it seems that your prediction was correct. That the point, after all, is to have a new tree encase the power of the light. Given that the old willow was no longer able to perform that duty. tree is providing a place of comfort for our former family. I'm looking at this blue bit here, and all I can think of is, oh, that's a grapple point. Okay, Destiny unlocked. And we have finished the main quest. Let's just watch the end credits, kind of enjoy the moment, and I'll go back and see what our percentage completion was, and possibly see what the situation is in terms of getting back into our post-game file. So yeah, we have a bit of time left on this stream, given that we finished this with some time to spare. So we can certainly dive back in, comb the map a little bit more. But let's just see what the post-game situation is first, and maybe even comb the achievement page while we're at it. It is, of course, absolutely my intention to just sit through this, enjoy the finale music. The best looking 2D platform you've seen, it's definitely up there. Definitely up there. Oh, it's absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, I don't know what else Gareth Coker has worked on as composer other than the Ori games, and that's perhaps worth looking into, because I think the music has been absolutely gorgeous as well. I mean, it's not just the visual artwork, but the sound design has really been an absolute treat. Yeah, I'm guessing that since we started at about 71%, we probably wound up somewhere within the 80s. Patrick Seitz, who plays some of the characters like the bear and the well, some of the very deep-voiced characters. He's the only voice actor I recognize there, I think, and he is in a lot of stuff. In Fire Emblem, in Warcraft. I think he's the one who played Arthas, or the Lich King in Warcraft. Of course, voice acting casts are everywhere, so, you know. I'm sure I recognize a number of the other cast members as well, if I just remembered who was who. So here are the credits for the Nintendo Switch port. I remember the fact that this was ported to Switch at all was a considerable surprise, given the performance of the game, that in some ways is graphically much more demanding than the first game. And I believe Eurogamer's Digital Foundry did make a video on the port of this game in terms of how they managed to get it up to 60 frames a second on Switch. And now that I've actually played the game, I might actually go back and look at that just to see what was going on the technical side. very glad to have this come to Switch. For the longest time it looked like it was going to be an Xbox exclusive, but that was originally true of the first game as well, and we're quite fortunate to have it reach Nintendo's platformer audience. So yeah, I think the Switch as a platform has been in a very fortunate position in terms of receiving games like the Ori games as well as Cuphead from Microsoft, in terms of a lot of those seeming Xbox exclusives eventually making their way over. And on that note, when they eventually finish the Cuphead DLC, that's certainly something that will be featuring on this stream as well. Yeah, total time on this one I think came out to probably about 18 hours. But we'll finish the credits and listen to the music and go back to see if that's actually the case. The screen was going dark temporarily because actually that's just from a bit of dimming from a lack of input on the system. There is a little bit of a story that's going on with the end credits as well. Look at the multiple spirits of Ori's kind that are greeting their friends at the end. That's something that I should have been paying a little more attention to. That there was some kind of narrative being traced by the illustrations. Well, it looks like we're almost to the end. And we'll see if there's any post-game image to look at or anything to that effect. And thank you, Moon Studios, for treating us to this experience. So, let's see what happens now. Is it just back to the start screen? I believe it is, judging by the music. So yeah, 86%. And I guess it saves at the point right before the final encounter. And we had 19 out of 20 energy orbs, just under 18 hours. Now if we go to options, I believe it actually does show me which achievements I have. So these are just the story achievements for the various bosses. That's all fairly familiar. We have not done hard mode. Hard mode, I think, is probably approachable after you get past a bit of a rough start. You can definitely feel a lot of the incoming damage in the earliest phase of the game before you've unlocked a lot of the movement abilities. And yeah, we have some things here that cost resources, and so we'd have to farm a bit to acquire some of these, I think. And interesting that although we've collected all the life orbs, we have not maxed out life, probably because I have not put on the additional spirit badger ability that gives you a boost of a couple of extra orbs. And we do not have all collectibles or the trade sequence. We're still missing a few pieces of ore, I believe. Secret achievement, interesting. Oh, we actually didn't complete all spirit trials. I didn't know that we had missed one. Because I thought I had raced through all of the ones I had encountered, but maybe there was one point that we had not seen. Avoid touching any corrupted water. I think maybe that's one that you have to do from the beginning of the game. We are not doing that. More secrets. And yeah, there's a speedrun achievement and an achievement for not dying, which even on easy mode must be challenging because there is the potential for instant kills all over this game when you fall onto spikes, etc. Get crushed by falling blocks, although that's not as rough as in the first game. Let's dive back into the file and just take a further look. Healthy. Interesting. Wonder what that is. Maybe that's just one of the secret achievements for diving back in. Let's, oh, maybe that's the life achievement, and I don't know why it's only available now, but maybe you get a bit of a power boost at the very end. Let's take a look at that. Was that what was happening? Let's see. Yeah, max out life. So interesting that we had to reload into the game for that to unlock. So I guess there is some kind of post-game shenanigans going on with that. Saves right at the final boss. Only 71% in Willow's End. And I don't know what I would have missed in this area. But yeah, spirits, we are missing 2. There is, of course, the upgrade we can get to reveal the remaining ones on the map. And that costs about 4,000 though, and we don't have that. Missing a couple of side quest things here and there. Garden is complete. And yeah, that's pretty much the situation. Well, I think the best thing to do here is actually return to town. Yeah, so in order to mop up some of the remaining things that cost money, I think you almost certainly have to use some of the shards, like Bounty, for instance, that allow you to farm money a little faster, but of course the rebuild would also do quite a lot to complete that. And that's the reason I'm not too keen on doing 100% in this game, simply because it looks like there is going to be a bit of a money grind involved. So, regardless, let's work back here to town and just see how much everything is going to cost us. The light is whole again. Yes, okay, so that's from the previous point, of course, before the final boss. But we'll just take a look at this project here. Interesting that this one has not been revealed. I wonder if I do have to construct everything else first. So yeah, it looks like I can't build that last one out of order because of something that I have not yet triggered. And okay, so now it unlocks. And that's just more housing. Let's heal up first of all. I've really done it this time. Okay. I do have my launch ability, but somehow I'm not able to use it. Oh, look at that. That's new. I wonder why I didn't see it much earlier, huh? Maybe it's been there the whole time, or maybe it was part of the reconstruction. So yeah, sometimes it's just unlockables like that that don't appear on the map, of course, until we've done something to trigger them. So that's just one spirit shard remaining then. Let's see what we can do. I still don't know what to do with the hand-to-hand quest. Oh, this looks like it's probably the energy point that I had not collected earlier. Let's grab that. Yeah, once again, I guess some of this stuff did not appear until I had rebuilt the town up to a certain state. That would explain why they were not on the map earlier. Let's just check the map one more time. Is it above me in this location? Or did I just misread this entirely? Yeah, okay, so it's going to be 2 locations to the right. I wonder why I didn't see that. Well, let's not worry too much about that. Let's just head on up. And yeah, I guess it is something to do with the housing reconstruction. And yeah, take care as well, Merlin. Not going to be staying on for much longer to wrap this up, just going to sweep a little bit further, so. Glad to see you, and I'm glad you enjoyed the considerable beauty of the conclusion of this game. Oh, that's new. Yeah, it looks like we have actually a small location here that we've completed. Interesting that even though we have collected 20 out of 20 energy, as with the life achievement, that doesn't seem to register as an achievement right away. So yeah, let's see what else we can do. No, I didn't think I could fight a tentacle monster either. Well, let's see if there are any other obvious locations to check. I do know that there were some things I hadn't swept previously. Also, at least one spirit trial I have not done, and I think I can scan for that by just looking at what I have here. No, that's construction. Let's see here. What is quick access? Ah, yes. Quick access is for the spirit trials. This should in fact reveal what it is I'm missing. Inkwater, Quallock, Wellspring, Pools, Reach, and Moldwood. So I need to scan for the zone that is somehow not involved in that. Interesting that there are leaderboards for each of the escapes as well. And I've no rank because you have to redo them, it seems, in order to have that work out. So, okay, so Spirit Trials, let's see if I can figure out what it is I'm missing. Luma Pools, Wellspring. Yeah, curious. I don't see a point for doing that in either Silent Woods or Willow's End. So... which zone is missing here? That's a great source of curiosity. Oh, here's something that looks like an energy location. Oh, that doesn't look right. So am I actually missing 2 energy orbs? Ah, yes, okay, so I am still missing something here. Wonder why I couldn't see that before, even though it was on the map the whole time. In that case, let's go back here and try to collect that final piece. I was sure I had acquired that. And I still have not located which of the time trials is therefore incomplete. Definitely did that one. War's Reach, definitely did that one. Could be one in town, could be something unlockable perhaps. Yeah. So, fastest way back here, probably just traversing normally, really. No, we can take the water. So, let's just warp back over there and see what we can do. Okay. We'll of course have a very little visual memory for the geography of this place. But I believe I just need to wrap around the swimming segment to the left. Ah, yes, because we do have plenty of traversal abilities now to make it through the rest of this as quickly as possible. Don't need to worry about water breathing anymore. We do, of course, need to contend with the camera squirrel. Okay, so back around we go, and where was the relevant segment? Directly to our right. Let's wait for the camera. How did we possibly miss this? Huh. Oh, okay. Deflect it into this location here. Okay. Now our energy bank is complete, and yes, we are powerful. So that's finished. Okay, so the file is now a little bit more complete. Still have to remember who it was who needed the backpack. Yeah, once again, I have no idea how I missed that the whole game, or why I couldn't see it on the map. Earlier, we won't fret too much about that. But yeah, Luma Pools, Wellspring. What have we not done? As far as dashing everywhere is concerned. No locations marked for things like the ore, unfortunately. This speed challenge I do remember doing. Midnight Burrows. Ah, quite possibly. Let's see if we can unlock the trial location down there. That is listed as 100% complete, though, but I think maybe that only refers to the collectibles and not actually the trial location. So let me just check that to see if Midnight Burrows was already logged, and yeah, that is the one we're missing. So let's just head down here and do it. Oh, it has a combat challenge. No, that's not it then. Looks like we need to look for something else then. Might as well grab this collectible location. Oh, yes, that's the one I couldn't grab much earlier in the game because I didn't have the appropriate traversal power. Now that we have the launch ability, we can, in fact, reach both of those. So, let's just sweep the map. And see what else lies in store. How far are we? Let's wait for the map to load. Okay, down and to the right. Yes, that's correct. Okay. It was the central puzzle room segment, I think, that was the place we needed to get to. It's much lower down. If I'm not mistaken. Nope, this is where you collect the ability. Yes, and it is to the right. As we get that color change when we move between zones and biomes. Collected that already. It's in this location over here, where we have to ride all the way up, and then I was previously attempting to throw a flare up here in order to reach that location, but it seems like the endgame launch ability is, in fact, the thing we need in order to make that happen. Still only at 93% in the holo. So, yeah, we'll just go down, check a couple of other locations. I noticed that this is apparently dark and faded, but it looks like the next location will be down here. So we can warp there, but let's be diligent about this and check some other things first. Okay, there we go. Very carelessly taking a ton of damage, of course. Did we check this location? Yes, of course we did. We check this location. Yes. Yeah, 96%. I don't imagine I'm missing much apart from the one thing we already know about all the way over here. So we may as well just zip over there and check that. This warp point, fall to the right, and then over to the left. Okay. I think I've got it. Oops. Taking a fair bit of damage here. Ah, yes, we can just drop through this. How close are we? No, it was next level down. This is what happens when there isn't really a mini-map or anything. I do just wind up constantly checking the main map instead. Now that should be 100% in Moldwood Depths, so let's just get out of here. Looks like this location might not have been fully explored. There's quite a lot in general that is still open to checking. In fact, just a surprising amount that is left to be done. So, let's perhaps go back. Yeah, I still have no idea what we could be missing for the final speed challenge. If not this. Because what other named zones are there? There is Willow's End, but we've really combed that somewhat thoroughly. Silent Woods, I believe this was just a combat trial. Yeah, it could always be some other doors or locations that we haven't broken yet. Going to check this location immediately to the right of the save point. Now, once again, though, probably not going to stay on too much longer to do the remainder of the sweep. Let's replenish. And then head down. Whoops. Let's maybe not fall victim to an instant kill at full health. That's exactly why we're not doing the achievement for beating the game without ever dying. Just too many other nuisances to take care of along the way. Let's check that right location, though. I think that has a certain degree of potential here as the location we need. No, we have checked that. Plenty of traversal that is open to us now, of course, that was not previously. There's Shriek's final resting place. But of course, at this point in the chronology, we don't know that yet. Yeah, tricky to determine at this point what we are missing, given that we don't have too much in the way of map markers to guide us. So, in the absence of any guidance, I mean, there is the escape sequence here that we had combed previously. Ah, yes, this entire location to the top left here. Let's check that. Probably just with the power of flight, because yes, we had only seen a lot of this previously as part of the escape sequence and not with my own abilities restored. So that is worth checking for sure. Once we get to that point. Certainly the mid-air launch ability does ease certain things when it comes to further exploration. Who is this guy? Burn back spirit while you still can. Yeah, I don't remember him. We haven't been in this area in some time though, so... Yeah, I was in the big open area where I wanted to traverse over to the top left, so let's just try to get up there as fast as we can. Oh, look at a poor wolf here. Maybe that's just a wolf statue, but a wolf that we had already seen much earlier. Is this the room? Yes, we want to gradually make it to the top left then. Okay, up we go. This looks like a trial gate. Yes, I think this is almost certainly what we want then. We have not found the endpoint for this trial gate. And we need to do so. Once we've done so, then if we have an end flag, this challenge should unlock. Probably it is a traversal challenge that takes us all the way up to the top location here, given that this does require us to have certain in-game abilities. Okay, so this is going to be new territory then. And I can see the speed challenge coming. Yes, there's the end gate. Whoops, and of course we're just going to take the opportunity to die right there, and that is the final spirit shard that's to the left, so... Looks like we do, in fact, have a full collection. Convert excess life to energy and excess energy to life. We will almost certainly do that. I mean, we don't really need the absorption power at this point. We'll do that. This game really throws a ton of great abilities at you, in fact. Much more than you can necessarily choose from at once when it comes to things that all feel equally useful. So let's do the spirit trial, and that will be something that maybe is the best way to cap off this streaming experience if we're not going to be pushing a full 100% right this minute. That will do a somewhat substantial chunk of content here. And yeah, it looks like it's just going to be kind of a grapple race. Pretty straightforward in terms of routing, so I'm not too worried, but you know, we have occasionally had some margins that take us just a second under. Yeah, it's just going to be traversal all the way back up. And we'll see how that goes. You have to remember, I don't think the launch ability will be available to me, will it? No, it won't. I do need to just use a grapple, so it is actually going to be a little bit more difficult than I had envisioned it, given that we are back to not having our equipped abilities. So we'll need to do a grapple and grapple. Yeah. Okay. I have to remember how to play without the grapple after having... Not the grapple, rather, but without the launch ability, given how dependent on it we have become for segments like this. Okay. Yeah, needed to fling my way up to the dirt. Okay, so harder than I expected, just given the ability normalization to make the time trial equal for everybody at all stages of development. Okay. Need to work on this. Yeah, I should have gone straight vertical on that one in order to get on top of the platform and then over to the dirt ball immediately afterwards. So that's going to take a little bit of work, but we'll do it. Yeah. Too many dashes there. Don't want to overspend a side dash. Nope, miss. Nope. Okay. Now that's going to be a bit of a disaster. Okay. Forward we go then. No, too low. Need a nice vertical boost through the dirt ball and then dash immediately twice to the side, I think. Amazing how dependent on the launch I had become, even though I had only picked it up earlier in this sitting. Okay. Up we go. Whoa. A little bit too low once again. I am making contact with that platform, but that's not quite good enough. Let's not bungle it that badly. Okay, up we go. Once again, not making it through the branch rather than the entirety of that ledge. Okay. No. Alright, let's practice this even though I'm probably not going to make time here. Wow, we are actually so far from being in range of that bulb. Way off, in fact. The bounce here is probably all we need to get across, so... Oh. Okay, might as well practice. I should be using the glide, in fact. That's something that we have not been taking advantage of. And that's going to help with some of the horizontal traversal that we had been having some issues with. In general, I think in this game I had been underusing the glide quite a bit. Usually the side dash is going to be better for something like a speed challenge like this. So we just need to make our peace with that. Whoops, missed. Very narrow window of opportunity to get through the dirt ball there. That's going to be one of the tighter segments in this challenge, to be sure. Nope. Once again, just using the wrong button for the grapple. It is L for grapple, R for the dash through the dirt ball. And because they both kind of feel like grapples, it's very easy to get the two of them confused if you have the dirt ball involved at all. Nope, once again. Okay, this will take a bit of work, but... whoa, that was a complete miss. Up we go. Nope, wrong button. Now, the nice thing about these Spirit Trials is that they will give me a pretty considerable burst of cash. I also no longer need to spend 4,000 for locating the Spirit Shards, the Ability Shards, rather. So, I may in fact have enough cash to buy my way into all of the remaining Spirit Dumps. Okay. Okay, we're going to be a little bit off in time anyway. I was a bit behind. That is by far the closest we've come to actually succeeding here, though. Just a bit of a slip up on one of the corners. Past a dirt ball turnaround. No, once again. For a projection. Nope. Do have to be fairly accurate about all this. Okay. Yeah, this is a really tricky segment here. And we are over time, unfortunately. I think the glide is going to be the trick to the final segment there, but even if I hadn't hit it accurately the first time, that one damage location cost me too much time, and we still haven't figured out how to get into that accurately. Probably my side dashes rather than the glide. Okay. The thing about these trials is that usually you can get ahead of the ghost just by doing ground dashes, but in this particular segment there's no real opportunity to do so, just given that everything here is aerial play. So far, this definitely does feel like one of the more challenging ones simply because of the potential to bump your head on corners like those, and just the dependence on a lot of that analog directional aiming. And, of course, certain demand for accuracy in the aerial dashes. Aiming quickly with a stick, not exactly my strong suit here. No, wrong button. Still getting the L's and R's mixed up from time to time, which is not helpful. No. Yeah, that turnaround on that dirt ball, leading up to the very short-range grapple point immediately after that, is definitely the hardest part that we have to deal with here. Nope. Really do need to practice this segment, though. Yeah, otherwise we just get into too many issues. It's okay, we know precisely which spot is in the most desperate need of fixing. Okay. Personal record, but still taking too much of a hit from missing the grapple point after the dirt ball. Nope. Still don't have any kind of reliable method for that just yet, so that is something that we're very conscious of needing to fix. Okay. And in the end, we didn't actually end up fixing... Oh, I absolutely could have made it that time. So that time, even though we did take damage in that one spot, we were within range of finishing on time just because of the optimizations we had made to everything else along the way. Nope, miss. Falling once again, a little too far out of range. Okay. Yeah. The range on this guy is absolutely terrible. As soon as you take damage, you are in a world of trouble with that bulb, given how close you have to make that approach. Clearly, I need to not lose that much height coming out of the dirt ball. Okay. Losing a bit of time at the start already, that's not a good sign. There is a lot we need to fix up about this. Below. Okay. Yeah. Lots to clean up. All over the place. Yeah, I think so far this is by far the one I've had the most trouble with. Best we've done is getting within 1 second. As I was saying, not as many opportunities to get ahead of par and get ahead of the ghost when it comes to this particular course. Just much less flexibility when it comes to catching up on segments where you're losing time. No, too low. Need to gain more height off some of these jumps, I think. Nope. Yeah, no. If I get on top of that dangling platform, I really do need to get a nice high jump in order to get over to the dirt ball accurately. Nope. Once again, I'm accidentally vaulting over from the left side of the dangling block rather than jumping from on top. And I really do need to jump from on top of that thing. Whoops. Bad start. Okay. Nope. Not paying enough attention sometimes to how I am expending both of my available dashes. Might just be spamming some of the buttons too hard and running out of jumps, running out of dashes when I expect them to be available. And so, that is a mistake worth fixing. Okay. Yeah, once again, getting into tons of trouble in that location. And that's going to put me slightly over par. And that's entirely because of the damage spawn, as before. Just have no clean method for that just yet. I am gaining time in the early segments now, at least. Yeah. Too much slipperiness. Okay. Nope. At angle, I do need a bit of a diagonal going out of that launch, or I can't quite cover the distance required. Yeah, once again, that spot right there is just going to blow the whole attempt. And maybe that whole angle that I've chosen out of the dirt ball is just wrong. I'm not going to make the timer in this round, but I do need to practice this segment. Whoops, never mind. Not going to practice that segment after all. Okay. Yeah, can't reach that at all. What a disastrous location. Particularly when I fall into the lower part of the pit, which is most of the time by the looks of it. Maybe I should be watching the ghost to see what the ideal path or method is supposed to be in order to make it past that damaged location. I mean, of course, I have come within range of beating the timer even with taking damage in that spot before, but can't really afford to take more than 1 point there. Certainly did seem to save the most challenging for last when it comes to these spirit trial locations. Nope. But then a great deal of this is analog aiming and also being able to understand the grapple ranges, and that's kind of a known weakness, so... Oh wow, actually made it for once. Hey. Barring any minor screw-ups, that should be it. Very comfortable finish. Alright, that's going to put us over 4,000, and that's the Speed Demon achievement. So with that in the bag, now let's see how we're doing percentage-wise for this zone. Still only 89%, so... we are missing something here and there. This, of course, is just a location to go back to the final area. We may as well do a quick comb through the right side here, and then perhaps warp back to town after that. Spend some of the remaining currency. And see how we do from there. Oops. So nice to have the launch ability back after what we just had to deal with. Lower location is just where we came from, so no need to check that just yet. Okay, anything to check over here? Not by the looks of it, although... oh, it looks like we can go up top somehow. Wonder if a combination of light burst and that can take us over. Okay, that puts me on top of the trunk. I guess that just skips over to this area. Have we done much exploration here? Yeah, pretty much. Not much new to see, I don't think. And we can scan some of these locations. Don't believe this was anything, though, that we don't already know about. Just a save point. This location to the left. Yeah, that's just the lower part of the trunk, so certainly nothing to write home about. Okay, up we go. Anything to check? Doesn't really look like it. Yeah, maybe worthwhile at this point just to head back to town then, given that we don't have any indications of locations of things like the Gorlick ore, of which we're still missing a fairly staggering 7 pieces. I guess the zone completion statistics do give us a rough idea of where we should still be searching, but I think at this point it is probably a better idea to just head back. Still don't understand this one. Small adventurers. Don't really know who we met, but yeah, let's go back. See if we can dump some currency. And then that will probably a fairly be a very good place to just call it on the bulk of the streaming experience for this game, given that we have seen the finale. Yeah, so this is a guy that we can still buy from if we can afford everything here. We cannot actually afford everything. 2,000 from this, and then an additional 3,200. So we're missing about yeah, we'd still need about 700. And the funny thing is, we probably could do that if we did in fact finish the rest of the collectibles and complete the quest. Might as well check some of the other housing in the meantime. I think we had checked any of these locations before. One thing that might be worth checking is, since we've collected everything else, whether the cartographer can help us with anything like the Gorlick ore. He happens to have additional purchasable maps. So yeah, we don't need this, given that we already have all the spirit shards. It is kind of unfortunate that there is no Gorlick ore map, unless there's one that we just haven't found yet from a different vendor. Okay, let's actually remember which ability is which. Okay, what shall we buy? Oh, let's try some of the other weapon tech. Save the most expensive for last. Oh, except that actually unlocks even more. Okay. That is quite a lot. That is still to be done. All these upgrades here, in fact. An upgrade for almost all weapons that are available. So, we do now have a complete ability wheel, though. So, that's something, even if we are very far from the currency that's required to acquire everything else. Because what's just going to be 4,800 here, and that's another 2,800, yeah. Nowhere near the cash required. And honestly, without having planned way ahead for that with abilities like Bounty, it looks like the kind of thing that's just not really feasible or practical to do on this file. Which is kind of unfortunate, but I think we do have everything else we want already purchased, other than the final building location, of course. Yeah, checked a lot of the housing that has been built part way. One thing that I do want to check, and maybe this is the last thing we'll do, is whether we can return to the starting location all the way in Inkwater Marsh. Because we had initially come through all of this. Oh, I think the initial location, though, is what takes you down to the Midnight Burrows. I don't remember what a lot of this is. Given that it was all some time ago. I believe that was the first save point of the game, and yeah, this must have been the starting location here. Let's, sure, let's take a look and see if we can go back home. Yeah, the thing with games like this is that there is a certain reluctance to let it go. Now, I don't think I can see my overall completion percentage except with the save file up front, and so... But given that we're at 94% in this zone, maybe returning to start is something we should have considered in the first place as one of the final locations to check. Back when everything was much deadlier. Yeah, maybe not then. So it's the first ability, though. Right. Right at the beginning. Yeah, it would be quite tricky to just comb the map for money locations and anything else at this point. I think I'm quite satisfied to put it down with all of the energy collected. The main thing we're missing is just a Gorlick ore. But yeah, energy is collected, life is collected, time trials are all complete. You know, this is kind of like a soft completionism, in a way. It was just that one side quest, of course, that I didn't know how to do anything with. Scanning over the Inkwater Marsh, it's not really clear to me what location we have not yet checked. But we can take a quick peek on the right side, perhaps. I don't recall what this icon is, except I think we can... yeah. There's some details here. Ancestral tree. Let's head back to the burrows and see if paying it a visit will do anything, given that it is still marked on the map. Well, I don't think we can actually head up from here, can we? Yes, we can. Okay. That's okay. Been a while since we've come back here for sure. Right, because this was the music puzzle tree. And was there something we could do to get over to that side, given that... I don't think we had even traversed that yet, had we? Ah, interesting. Had we actually not traversed that way? Well, let's just take a look. Who goes through the trouble of writing the key to the door and locks it behind a door written backwards? Ah, okay. So this is how we do it. So there's this code here. And we do it backwards. So it's going to be tall, short, tall, medium, medium, short, tall. Whoops. Okay. So yeah, let's do the code backwards and see how it goes. I hadn't even talked to him about that. Tall. Short. Tall. Medium. medium, short, tall. That should unlock the gates to the right side, and yeah. This was marked on the map the whole time, and we just didn't think to check it, so... That could be something significant, given that there's a whole tree there. That's usually indicative of some major ability. Yes, of course we'll absorb the light. Well, that would have been helpful to have, even if it is just attack power. So I guess all we're missing at this point is a backpack guy, which is still unknown to me. Could be anybody, really, unless we just completely forgot some important character who desperately needed a bag. I guess that is part of the trading quest. But I think the trading quest will likely have to wait, given that we've finally figured out what's going on with the ancestral tree. It seems to be the last major marking that we do need to be aware of. Who's this guy? Miner. Don't remember what that was all about. Although maybe the NPCs that are still marked would be in some ways important. And maybe that's not the case given that everybody is still marked, but you know, there were quite a few steps to the trading quest that we had not actually resolved. Interesting that the spiderling had taken up residence over there. Small adventurer who needs a bag. I cannot really imagine who that would be. So yeah, Inkwater Marsh now at 96. Yeah, I think at this point I am quite happy to just decamp and call this resolved. Yeah, still just mainly the trading quests. We do have all the shards now. We know pretty much precisely what we're missing. Looks like it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 phases to a trading quest potentially, maybe even 8. Lots of empty slots. And given that so many of these involve individual Mokis, I think that's going to take a little bit of memory and trial and error, which will really just be reducible to trial and error, given that I do not remember a thing about it. Interesting to see the energy orbs to the left and the life orbs to the right of the central tree. I had not actually noticed that previously. So, well, I guess we'll have to be satisfied with this. It's our closest approach to 100%. And probably still dwelling in the mid-80s. Yeah, let's just check the counter back on the main screen. So yeah, it looks like is going to be 88% at closing. And so we'll probably just have to be satisfied with that for the time being. It is a very complete experience overall, I think, as is, and the one criticism I would have perhaps is that the mop-up phase is very similar to some of the other mop-up phases in Metroid-like games that don't necessarily feel that substantial by that point. That is a known design problem that is often difficult to work around, especially when you have covered everything that is marked on the map. But I think in terms of substantial, chunky content, we've completed most things that can be. So, definitely a conclusion to absorb and think about, and we'll set this aside from now, and that's the end of the main adventure. We may or may not come back to stream this at some point for 100% sweep, but I'm thinking that for now, it's fine to call our business concluded. So, once again, thanks for watching. We'll be heading on soon enough to the next adventure. So, good night or good morning, wherever you are, and fare thee well.